Yeah. All right. We are back. Welcome back to Primal Sutra. We are in a new month, okay? New downloads, new attunements, got the fresh fade going. You already know what it is. Let's get it. Upward spiral gang. May we never be the same again, okay? Hello, savage shamans, gods and goddesses in training. Today we're going to really tap into social shaman codes, okay? What does it mean to be a social shaman? So this morning I got my hair cut, and shout out to my barber who's probably watching this right now. He got a recent subscriber, okay, maybe two. And yeah, ধন্যবাদ। যদি বাংলায় কথা বলতে হয় একটু আমি বলে নেব, কিন্তু আমি বাংলায় কথা বলি না এই চ্যানেলে ইউজুয়ালি। কিন্তু যদি আমি বলি তাহলে সবাই বুঝতে পারবে আমার কথাটা। যদি বাংলারা বেঙ্গলিরা শুনছে, right? So if you guys don't know, I speak Bengali, okay? So that's just a little preview of what I sound like in Bengali. Anyway, let's tap in, let's wire in, let's lock in, okay? I'm gonna send this to the tribe. Okay, sweet. All right, this is how we live. Just changing some settings around here so you guys can comment. Okay, cool. Sweet, it should be working now. All right, cool. So let's tap in with the social shaman codes, okay? The keys of the social shaman. I think this is very important. Number one, there's no such thing as an opener, and there's no such thing as an approach. Hey, bro. Okay. Number one, there's no such thing as an opener, okay? And there's no such thing as an approach. The way I want you to think about this is you are giving people the opportunity or the value to connect with you. Your focus should be on connection, okay? Not on trying to get some agenda, not trying to, impress others. You don't want to try to have so many different plans or ideas, right? When you tap in to be the social shaman, you really want to understand that they are entering my dimension. That's number one, okay? They're entering my worldview, they're entering my dimension. It's going to be a unique world to them. It's not going to make sense to them. I have to simplify it. I have to make it digestible. I have to also understand where I can be a little bit teasing, a little bit polarizing, and all these things. Okay. But not being attached to the outcome is very important if you are a flow state shaman. Okay. And usually when we're interacting, we want things to go a very specific and certain way. Okay. And this is actually an issue for a lot of people. They can't let go of the anxiety of being seen a certain way, or, having a bad confrontational moment with somebody, it really threatens the self-esteem, it threatens the ego, and so forth. And so when you communicate without ego, when you communicate just purely from soul to soul, mind heart coherence to mind heart coherence, okay? When you're speaking to someone from that level, from that area, you are actually tapping into what we call the savage shaman social codes, okay? Because usually when we think of a shaman, we think of a hermit, somebody who's very isolated, away from society, maybe in a cave, away from society, in their own world that they've created, their very strong internal world. I would say if you're an introvert, you might have a very, very strong and powerful invisible, but you haven't manifested what you want in the physical. So there's like a little delay or like a time bridge that needs adjusting. Okay. And honestly, that comes through cold, hard action. Okay. It really does. If you feel that resistance within you, your throat closing up, your belly having issues, your central channel getting affected by somebody else's communication style or what they're saying about you, or if you're too intimidated by them, you really got to understand and reflect on those things, right? That's how you're going to let go of the little mannerisms and idiosyncrasies that don't serve you any longer, right? They were there to assist you in your past self, for sure. You thought that was the best way to do it, and you used the best of what you could back then. okay? But now you have a different frame of reference, probably. You have a different way of doing things, and so seeing things even, right? Perceiving things. So that's how you want to come across as the savage shaman, the social shaman in this case, okay? The second thing I would say that people have a lot of struggle with is relaxing, okay? The energy of relaxation itself. You want to understand that boredom, let me just show you guys this. What is the flow state channel? Okay. You guys might have seen this many times, but I'm just going to share it with you regardless. I think this is important to note as a peak performance shaman. Okay. 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 Can you guys see this? Yes. Can we all see this? Let me just check. Just waiting for this. Okay, we can see it. Cool. Okay. So there's a bit of a delay. I don't know why, but okay. So flow, play, creativity, and so on, it says, okay? Worry and boredom, okay? I don't know why they put anxiety here on both sides. Anyway, action opportunities, action capabilities, challenges, and skills, okay? Now, if you notice, there's probably another model here if you can look at it. Boredom, when you're depressed and kind of contented, and relaxation, feeling confident and contented, is very close to each other, right, on the flow channel. You just need a better sense of control, and then you have flow. You're relaxed, right? But then you need more of a sense of control in order to tap in. Does that make sense? And when you're bored, you need to relax. This is a very simple model, right? And it simplifies a lot of things for us, okay? Yeah, fight or flight gets all the attention, but people forget between the two is the signal for healing as well. Ah, yeah, definitely. Definitely. It's in the middle path, that channel, right? The flow channel. It's between arousal and control, right? Being happy and confident, but also alert and focused. And this is the state of mind that we really want to adopt in a body. Okay. It's cool to get into the zone just by playing a video game for, 20 minutes. That's valid, right? And it's a good way to get into flow, okay? Because you have challenges, you have skills in that game, you're leveling up, right? And so forth. But what if you could gamify your life in the same way? What if you could gamify just your social interactions in the same way, okay? Let's say you're really bored in a conversation. You need to figure out a way to relax in that conversation greater. You're too tense, okay? Or you're not skilled enough at the thing, right? If you're noticing here, boredom is a moderate skill level, okay? And it's not challenging you enough either, right? So you're kind of here. Yeah, you're in the flow, but you're not really in the flow, in the current, right? So we have to manage this, right? Internally, the shift from going from very depressed to content, to confident, to happy, to tapped in, wired in. Okay. So let's say on a social interaction, you're very high stress, very high alert. It's out of your comfort zone. It feels like the panic zone, or the stretch zone is fine, you're getting challenged. But this feels like red alert, right? It's an amber alert or something. It's like a thing on your phone, right? That just buzzes or rings. It's something that warns you, like something going on, there's danger, there's a threat around, there's something that you need to change, right? With your strategy. So when we get stressed, we just need to focus on what? Being more alert, right? Being more focused, being more zen in the present moment again, right? Because anxiety is usually we're worrying about the future, and depression is usually we're worrying about the past. Okay. And if you can remain in that pure presence between boredom and anxiety, you will remain in the pocket or in the zone. Okay. I'm glad we got that out of the way because I feel that that's very, very important towards the social keys. Okay. Take how the experience makes you feel and work out how it works for you. Yeah. Yeah. Awesome, Zach. It's good to have you on here, man. Back again. Back again. Da-na-na. Most social interactions, bro, it's 80% emotional, only 20% logical and analytical. Okay. So that means that most of interactions is just a vibe. Okay. I'm just going to simplify this for you guys because really this is what it comes down to. It's just being a vibe shifter. Understanding that you might feel low confidence, low mood, lazy, groggy, tired, you just woken up, you know, you forgot something at work. These little moments happen, right? Little hiccups in the day. You got to ride it out and play with it more. Why? Because play is a ritual. Okay. Play is ritualized. You got to ritualize your life. You got to live as the end fulfilled already. Okay. If you crave your desire, if you're like, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do this, you're still creating that resistance, that psychic energy is being sent to the resistance now. You see? You are putting more thoughts into what you don't want than what you want. It makes sense when you realize not everyone is trying to make sense. Yeah, exactly, right? They're just trying to vibe. They're just trying to connect through something, through words, through body language, through mannerisms, through maneuvers, through jokes, through flirtation, through, all of these different mechanisms that are being used. And it's just important to recognize that sometimes I just need to express myself fully, how I feel, but also in the field where you're socializing and gaining reference experience, you're also giving yourself a mental self-talk all the time, constantly refining. Okay. You need that commander voice, the voice of authority, of spiritual authority and social authority, because your elemental, this is a huge thing, right, guys? This is huge. Okay. I got a lot of these downloads. Also, thank you to Travis Magus, okay, who gave me some of these understandings and epiphanies. Okay, go check out his channel if you want to learn more about the occult. Okay, but sweatless victory, this idea that you don't need to push for this idea to be social. Okay, yes, you need to push in the beginning, of course, to get the ball rolling, but you got to be a prototype of the Most High, baby. The seed already contains the tree, right? The higher self is just a composite being of all of your other spirit guides together. Okay. So these elements of resistance from the environment, from media, from conditioning, from the way that I should dress, whatever it is, right? These elements of resistance makes you more deaf, dumb, and blind, makes you more of an NPC, right? So really what we have to understand is, I was really interested in this idea of like, look, man, can we have like positive rap battles? Right. I found these old rap battles of like ketchup versus mustard. It's like on AOMAC TV or something. You can check it out. It's kind of interesting, right? Because if you guys have ever watched the YouTube movie that Eminem produced called Bodied, it was about just this rap battle thing and about real life, fake life, how rappers pretend that they have all this money, that they have all this clout, that they have all these bitches, that they have all this, jewelry and bling, right? They're flaunting and glamorizing it, like, and wearing that. Someone I remember said this, and this is kind of we're still in abundance August energy still, right? You understand that the money thing is a very important element for all of us. And we notice, I remember someone said this. He had a Rolex watch on his wrist, and he said, "This is a vision board on my wrist." And I realized it was a fake Rolex. Okay. When I realized it was a fake Rolex, I kind of like, what the fuck, bro? Like, what are you doing, right? And the next couple of months, I hadn't heard from this guy, and then I get a message from him, and he's like traveling to all these locations, and like, just like traveling around places. And I was like, dude, what are you doing? What's new with you? Like, I got now he's wearing a real Rolex, right? And so the thing about it is, yes, the fake it till you make it approach. I am a walking embodiment and a testament to that approach. But I don't want you to think of yourself as a social shaman as you're being inauthentic or you're being fake, because you're almost remembering your divine self. You're remembering how truly creative and social that you are. You are a social creature. You've been socialized not to socialize. Holy shit. Okay. Rewind. Okay. You've been socialized not to socialize. You've been programmed not to interact. You've been said, don't talk to strangers, traveling is dangerous, you can't meet all the right people, everybody wants only one thing. Okay, you've heard all of this nonsense, this noise, right? Of different radio channels just coming in and interfering with your authentic social frequency. Okay. Thin veneers and fronts, but the point is building the connections to make connections. Yeah, it's unnatural naturalness, right, brother? So it's not like 100% inauthentic. And to someone who's an introvert, you might see an extrovert and be like, that person's a fake motherfucker, right? You might have that visceral reaction in the beginning because to to somebody who's not used to that world or socializing or extroversion, it is going to feel like a complete alien like territory, right? You're going to feel like, what the fuck am I doing here, right? Like I'm not interacting and connecting with anybody. I'm putting on this false like, hey, how was your day type thing, right? A little social talk thing that we do. But if you stay in that too long as a shaman, your brain is gonna you're gonna get into the boredom state. I'm telling you, bro, right? This is why you need self-amusement and be feeling good internally, even when you're fucked up, right? Even when you're in your head overthinking something, you're able to relax and you're able to just breathe, breathe into the moment, wiggle your toes, stretch your body around, bark like a dog in the nightclub, do something, right? Right? You start randomly barking. That's going to break up your ego patterns. You've never done that before. What in the world, right? And it shuts off your brain because now you're using chaos magic in the environment itself. You're using the trance of the you're using that through your embodiment and through your chakras. You're feeling the music through your chakras, right? I'm able to really, as an audio shaman, I'm able to really listen and tune into the environment, right? You guys can hear there's music in the background here. And I constantly pick up these frequencies from here because everybody's always partying out here, right? So I get that party energy from them. And it's usually a divine, holy kind of partying because there's a Shiva temple right there as well, right? So there's like this very vibrant type of energy that in my space, at least right now, that I can tap into. And also it's a Sunday and I'm getting energy from the sun. It's a leadership day and I just got my hair trimmed, right? So all of the energy that I've been setting up for today has aligned towards everything that I've encountered with the energy already set. And you can overcomplicate this numerology and planetary shift thing. You could make it really nerdy, right? If you really get into it. What we like to do, bro, is we just like to simplify it. Like, don't get so overly wrapped up about the names and the dates and the ages and the of the beings that you're working with. Like, don't get so critical about the labels. If you have different spirit guides, you shouldn't be worried about like, you know, what they look like to you. It's more about the message, okay? Because your mind as a shaman, it can shift according to your frequency, according to your wavelength, according to your perspective. You might be seeing you closing your eyes and experiencing this one being. You might see them as a hellish, kind of hellcat type creature, or somebody else sees them as like a little, kitten. They're like, oh, that's cute. Yeah, he was kind of roasting me a bit, but that's fine, right? So you're going to have to get accustomed to negative reactions and positive reaction towards you. Okay. I love this exercise because it can be very, very powerful in shifting you into that neutrality, that kind of non-reactive state. right? Where you can just become the witness. If you can become the witness as a man, you need to work on remaining that witness and being in the spaciousness of it all, of the social interaction. Okay. And really, you're letting her express herself and talk, and she's playing with her hair and she's doing all these things. She's Shakti in motion. She's moving, right? You as a man, you cannot be moving with her. Oh, really? Oh, that's interesting. I can't believe. Okay. Now I'm still expressive, but there's a certain kind of slow depth and an angularity to my speech. Okay. It's not so, I am more so being the witness than the witnessed. Because if I remain being witnessed, I'm in self-consciousness, not connection, other consciousness. Okay. Um, Let me just read what Zach said. Sounds and or vibrations vibe shift uh the fluids shift the energy and experience. Yeah, man, I fully believe that. I think it comes through the plasma. It comes through, chemical signaling. Someone leaves an eyelash, someone leaves dead skin, someone leaves sweat in the bathroom, someone leaves their tears uh in a specific apartment room, right? That's the vibe shift that we're picking up through these chemicals, through these pheromones, through all of these energies, right? That are intermingling and interacting. And think about this too, as a social shaman, you understand, that she has a connection to the metaphysical world too, right? And you're going to start pulling different imageries up as you're communicating with her. You might even see that, holy shit, she has like a goddess Hera connection, or she's like very into undines or something, right? You suddenly get that through just having a conversation. If you have very high intuition levels or spiritual intelligence already, which means you can very easily connect to the oneness of it all, you can also be a spirit walker and experience her spiritual experience and what she's going through, right? And usually, people say don't talk about religion in the first meet, and don't talk about politics, and don't. I get that, right? It's like you want to keep it light and playful for sure, but also you got to be sticking up for what you stand for in a sense, right? Integrity and just being real is a huge part of this, right? And not like just wearing a mask and pretending to be somebody or not, right? Like if I try to be somebody else, right? I'm going to be a 2.0 version of them, not the 1.0 version of me. And that's taking away from your journey. You know what I mean? Like then at a certain level, it just becomes mimicry, right? If I do what, AZD is doing, Vince Kelvin's doing, Hypnotica's doing, all these other coaches are doing, if I do exactly what they are doing, I'm not going to amplify and be, associated on this journey properly. Okay. I'm not going to fully step into my own power. Yes, I'll have their technologies, and I do have their technologies and so forth. However, I've got to find what makes them them. I like that because that's authentic, that's transparent, that's real. That's a bad motherfucker, right? That's a dope dude that I want to connect with and I want to shift minds with, right? And have deep philosophical, intellectual conversations with. Okay. That's mind expansive rather than mind diminishing. You want to have this is the code, brothers and sisters and chicas, okay? This is the code. Open mind, open heart, sharp mind. Okay. Low reluctance, high thinking. Okay. This is the energetic shift that is going to be so, so crucial and so, so important. If your interactions are getting more boring, you're not using your imagination tech, your deity characterology, character yoga enough in the actual action of it all. Okay. If I walked into an interaction feeling like I'm Godzilla, and these are, Japanese civilians, there's going to be a very different, very aggressive vibe to that, right? a very like dominant type of energy immediately. Now, I'm not saying go pretend to be Godzilla, but I am saying, what if you had these invisible wingmen, wingwomen that were already there in the spiritual realms, there to support you, there to help you, and you're just overthinking it. Here you are as the shaman, commanding as the commander. You're going, yeah, maybe, but not so much. And I like this thing, but also that, right? And you're giving yourself, all these elementals are confused. They're like, wait, you said you like that thing, and now you're like going against what you said, right? And so it's confused, man. It's like it's trying to gain its value in this world. It's trying to, gain its self-awareness and self-esteem and so forth, and be a very, practical individual in society and fit in and, have a job and have kids. And, it ends up being that, right, after a while. So yeah, it's incredibly very simple. Yeah, it's going to be simple, and that's why it's complicated because getting things mixed up ruins the foundation that many people blow past and never think twice about. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, man. It's so simple that it's complex. Isn't that a paradox? So, and that's why you've got to embody the challenge of just meeting strangers, just being like, what's up? Right? You just got to do it. You just got to do it, man. You know, just easy. It's easy. You just got to like amplify and just tap in. Okay. Let me show you guys. Oh, man. Okay. Yo, what's up, bro? You're live on YouTube right now. What's up? Good.
Good.
Awesome, man. You're in Lucknow right now? Lucknow
What?
say hey. Lucknow say hey.
Nahi, nahi. I am from India.
Ah, okay. Nice. How are you doing?
Hi.
All right. You meet any cute girls on here or no?
What?
You meet any cute girls on here? No? Okay. Got it. Is that why you're on Monkey? Or you're just bored or
I'm bored.
you're bored?
Too bored.
You
Too
need
bored.
Bro, you need to go from boredom, right, to relaxation. Then you can tap in. Because when you're bored, right, you're not relaxed. You're still tense. You're still worrying about stuff, or you're like, So if you just relax, then you won't feel bored anymore, right? You see what I mean, guys? It's so natural, right? It's just so natural, right? It doesn't have to be overcomplicated. Like we just keep overcomplicating everything, right? But look how natural that was, right? I just gave him some quick advice and then I just went in. I went ham, right? It's easy. I'll do longer versions of that now, but it's not. I need to pay the premium or something for the if we want to have girls on there for the Riz. Okay. But sometimes I'm worried to go live and then do monkey because then it's like, sometimes they have these pictures of these girls like these ads, ad webcams or like naked stuff. So I don't know if YouTube will censor that. You know what I mean? Um, but hopefully that doesn't happen. We can end up having a very good interaction like that. But yeah, I'm just showing you guys it's very simple, right? You don't need to overcomplicate. You just call it out for what it is. The guy seemed bored. I said that, right? And it's true. Yeah, bro, I'm bored, right? You mean any cute girls on here, bro? Like we're creating a connection. Okay. So what I really want you guys to understand as a social shaman, you cannot be afraid of what your strengths are. Okay. I have an American accent. I can do multiple and mimic different accents from all over the world. Okay. Now that's a skill set. I've refined that skill set through acting, through technology, through, mimicking my friends, through mimicking my teachers growing up, through watching cartoons, through reading comic books and trying to mimic the characters' voices, through the speech bubbles, right? So I have all of these reference experiences of doing that. Now I just got to apply it into a social interaction, right? In my head, there's still going to be that guy like, maybe you shouldn't do that. Or, now you can't say hi to her. She's with her man or something. I don't know what that is, right? That situation isn't going to work for you. You can't possibly, right? We get all of these different voices stacking in the back of our minds, and then we just end up not doing anything. But all we need is just that one pocket of high. That's all we need. We just need that high and that eye contact, and then we're in, right? And then you let the dojo emerge. You let the engagement of the present moment happen organically, as it should, right? As it should. It shouldn't happen like forced, okay? It doesn't have to be forced. It can be very, very organic if you recognize I'm not looking for like some kind of an approval seeking mechanism through these videos, okay? I'm already fully complete and fulfilled, right? I feel that. I actually feel that way. However, I'm giving from the goodness of my journey in my heart because I understand that the value that this can have for somebody's life. I understand that one person watching this video, if that makes a difference to them, I've succeeded today. Okay? I can rest my head on my pillow and go to sleep properly this time, right? And I recognized that yesterday night. Usually I have difficulty sleeping, but yesterday night I was like, you know what? I did my part. I did my part today. I shifted someone's consciousness. I helped a relationship out, you know? I helped somebody go through a very tough time. And it's reflecting back into my own life every time that I have a person that I'm helping. I see the way that it reflects back into my own consciousness because vibe does attract tribe. Even if you are a healer and a counselor, you're still dealing with those people's consciousness. So you are going to take on some of their imprints. So you got to be very wary of that and let go, learn to drop the storyline, learn to understand it's all narrative. It's just a story anyway. It's like watching a really good movie, right? Like, when you watch a really good movie, you're in the theater, it's kind of comfy, you're sitting next to people, but you don't even care, right? You're zoned in, you're honed into the movie. That's what I want you to do. Okay. Don't skip to the end of the movie. Don't try to fast forward in the movie hall. Okay. With the remote. What are you doing? Okay, just enjoy the movie like the rest of us. We are all enjoying this movie together, right? And once you can understand, I'm not just an isolated social, unsocial, antisocial creature. I really depend on others to survive, right, on this planet. And yes, your network is your net worth and all these quotes and fancy things, as they all say, right? Yeah, that is true. It's like, I know that I have so many great connections in the coaching community and the healing communities that I could go anywhere in the world and there will be somebody for me showing up. Okay. I could go anywhere on planet Earth and there will be somebody there waiting, you know, knowing that I'll be there. Okay. You can count on me like 1, 2, 3, and I'll be there. Okay. So this is really what we learned about being a juggernaut, a spiritual juggernaut. We learned about our mana, right? We learned about a lot of things, right? However, as we're going more into the social September, I really want you to consider this. What would the most loving and wisest social version of me be? What would he do? What would she do? Right? How would they behave? And what's important about that behavior? Okay. Really key, really important here, guys. Okay. So my work's calling me, so I might end this live soon. So do we have any questions? Anything coming up for anybody about this? Anything that we have to cover? If not, we can end it early. Okay, and let's all get our social reps in. Okay, get your social reps and just say hi to somebody you wouldn't normally say hi to. That's it. That's your challenge for every day this month. That's it. If you did the challenge, you're good. If you didn't do the challenge, you're gonna feel bad about it, right? So just do it. Right? As a loner, you get targeted like any predation that happens in nature. It happens to stragglers, loners, or those who stand out, right? And the thing about it is, if you can back that isolation, you then become the outlaw, the Sigma, all of these other archetypes, the anti-hero, the whatever it is, right? The rebel, the bad boy. Okay. We in society, we think somebody's different. Let's push them away. Okay. Let's judge them. Let's point fingers at them. Let's mock them. Let's look at them from afar like they're in a zoo exhibit instead of an actual person, right? However, there are also people that are your ride or dies that will absolutely trust you in everything that you do, that are going to have your back because they have built trust with you through your journey. And there's also an understanding that if I don't connect with them, if I don't say hi, how do I know if it's going to blossom into a great friendship relationship or not, right? So that's how important this thing is we start to recognize I am not alone, I'm all one. I'm connected to everything around me. I'm connected to the insects, the birds, the trees, and very well so people, right? In all these different entities too, okay? And that's how you know when you're wired in, is you're not focused on the loner archetype anymore. I'm honestly going to have to let go of this hermitage, this archetype, that I've built up for so many years, and it feels scary because it's my ego collapsing, right? Moments of socializing are moments of challenge or ego death, and moments where you have to remain that Shiva container and practicing coming back to pure awareness again and again and again and again. Things are going to distract you as you socialize. Someone's going to come in, spill a drink. Someone's going to do this. Someone's going to have a party foul. Someone's going to, there's all of these factors to analyze as a shaman, but you don't need to analyze it. That's not your responsibility right now. You don't have to heal anybody but your own self for right now. You have to self-amuse, have fun, and celebrate your life because you are healing others and you are special, okay? You are a miracle worker without even knowing it, okay? And that's how I want to end today. Have an incredible day. May the flow be with you and tap in, okay? Stay legendary. May you never be the same again.